Alright. Now let's get the real thing you're going to be wanting to collect a lot of missiles for. Because it's certainly not for the missiles themselves. Super missile acquired. This powerful attack uses 5 missiles. Using the power beam, press and hold that button to charge and then press R to fire. Additional data downloaded to the inventory screen. Press minus to access the inventory screen. So this game has something called a charge combo. And I just realized I used the wrong beam button for this. Hold the fire button and then you press the missile button and boom! Some combos are better than others, but I think most of the ones in this game are actually pretty good. I think the only one that's not is for the beam that's the strongest on its own anyway. Though combos mostly matter for bosses, most enemies are like so weak that you don't need them. With one notable exception that we'll get to later. Or I guess a couple. Anything that requires that you use the power beam to defeat, you're going to want to use super missiles on. Yes, beam combos count as the all elements of both they both do missile damage and power beam damage. Which I think the fact that they do missile damage doesn't really come up that much. It's the most important part is that it does beam damage for the beam that you're using, which makes sense. It looks like a stronger charge beam. So these guys are kind of annoying, so you know, I kind of wish the missile button was the one that had the secondary thing. Okay, I've actually figured out a way to use my thumb to hit the right trigger. Or the right bumper. That's probably what I'll do for charge combos going forward. Important thing to note, this is the top of the tower mentioned in that one hint, but this is the wrong side. I almost went through a door that I've been in before. You can see this is frozen with ice. We cannot do anything with that until we can break the ice. Which means we're going to have to take it on a date first. Swap button also activates Spring Ball. We'll see. I think I could get used to hitting the right bumper with my thumb. As awkward as that sounds, I mean, I'm going to be locked onto things in regular combat. Looky who it is. It do be a Metroid. Initial transfer of Metroids to Talon 4 research facilities has been completed. 3 were terminated in an incident at the landing site, but the others were pacified and transported safely. Initial phazon infusion testing is underway. We are eager to observe the effects of phazon on Metroids, especially with their ability to absorb and process the energy given off by phazon sources. Early research suggests a considerable growth in power and size. Whether the creatures stay stable thereafter remains to be seen. I think it's just easier to hit them with, like, 2 or 3 regular shots, to be honest. It's specifically the pulse bombus that get drawn towards you. The scatter bombus just go faster. Can't beyond acceptable safety standards. Removal of squad requested. Internal organs of Metroid seem to be limited to nucleonic absorption cells and a massive energy reservoirs, whatever that means. Pseudo sci-fi mumbo jumbo. He's in infusion stage 6. Subject Metroid, that one. Subject's mass at 180% of previous phase on cycle, increasing dosage by 4%. Metroid brain scan results in. Studies show accelerated activity in parietal lobe during hunting cycles at temperatures above 10 centigrade. Containment temperature stable at 3 degrees centigrade. Environmental diagnostics satisfactory. The hooked mandibles of the Metroid penetrate the skin of its prey and siphon pure life force energy. Metroid containment fields appear 100% effective after adjustments. Temperature below 10 degrees centigrade will render Metroids docile. 10 degrees? Centigrade is centigrade Celsius? The reconstruction of Geoform 187, codenamed Ridley, was recently completed. After his defeat on Zebes, Command ordered a number of metagenic improvements for him. Though aggressive, we were able to implement these changes in a cycle. The metamorphosis was painful, but quite successful in the end. Early tests indicate a drastic increase in strength, mobility, and defensive capability. Cybernetic modules and armor plating have been added as well. We believe our creation, now called Metal Ridley, will become the mainstay of our security force, a job we will certainly relish. I always find that Ridley scans in the Prime games kind of weird, because they make it seem like Ridley... Because, like, sometimes Ridley is the leader of the space pirates, except for when he isn't, essentially. Talon Metroid, energy-based parasitic predator. The effects of Phazon have turned these Metroids, a species of alpha predator native to SR-388, into a unique subspecies found only on Talon 4. A Talon Metroid will latch onto its prey and drain energy, growing larger as it does. So, Celsius. It is Celsius, then. 10 centigrade isn't that cold, honestly. That's like fall temperature here. Metroid will latch on its prey and growing larger as it does. By the way, when Metroid grows larger, it is invulnerable. The only way to shake off an attached Metroid is to enter Morph Ball mode and lay a bomb. Okay, there is a missile tank up here. I suggest that you get it while, right now, if you can. It is generally unpleasant. Also, I think we can get this now. Sure can. Certain Morph Ball sections suck more than others, and this is one of the sucky ones. Because you're a ball, and you move like a ball, and you have no camera control for help you correct where you are on the platform. Alright, let's scan this place from top to bottom to collect all of the important information. And just clip through a wire. Like a ball. Exactly. Okay, we've already scanned all of up there. Directive: in the event of a Metroid attack, repel the creature with missiles at maximum concussion, or you can just use a super missile and will die immediately. All guards must use containment gear when transporting Metroids. This includes sedated specimens and those pronounced dead.
Recording to
logbook. Confidence is high regarding the Phazon applications. We know enough about Phazon now to begin combining it with Space Pirate DNA. The code name for this venture will be Project Helix. Preliminary studies indicate that Phazon infusion could produce radical new pirate genomes. Benevolent mutation levels are high in current test subjects. Phazon madness is a concern, but refinements in the infusion process should reduce or neutralize the odds of mental degeneration. Essentially, as energy-based creatures, Metroids show immediate mass increases upon energy absorption. Yeah, they do that. It's kind of annoying. Hunter Metroids. Hunter Metroid DS is showing signs of increased instability and a heightened immunity to cold dampening fields. Mr. Skyson, didn't you read the Space Pirate Law? It's illegal to keep test subjects as pets. Motion near Hunter Metroid DG appears to trigger psychotic episodes. Personnel are to stay at least 3 meters away from the stasis tank. Metroid Prime Hunters? Maybe.
Recording to logbook.
Metroid dissection continues to provide more questions than answers. Our research teams have isolated the energy conduits that run from the invasive twin mandibles to the energy core in the creature's quadruped nucleus, but the manner in which the Metroid actually extracts the life force from its prey remains an utter mystery. The victim does not lose blood or any other vital fluids, yet the Metroid extracts energy. It probably takes their chemical energy. Like, your body is an engine that consumes fuel, that burns fuel like fat and sugar all the time. It probably just takes the energy out of that, and then you die because your body literally lost all of the fuel it needs to not be dead. It takes... You know what? That could have been a Metroid Prime Hunters hit teaser. Identifying this energy is our central problem. It takes no physical form, and yet without it, the victim dies. We will continue to research this matter, as the isolation of this life-giving essence could be the key to our ascendance. It's chemical energy, I'm telling you. Quarantine specimen exhibits highly aggressive behavior. Its body structure, composed of Phazon ore, appears nearly invulnerable. This has rendered our efforts to train and discipline the subject useless. I mean, it is a rock. Project Titan is suspended indefinitely, but people die when they are killed. Security breaches resulting in massive casualties have occurred. Access is strictly prohibited until further notice. East Quarantine Cave has been secured. Specimen remains in the quarantine area. All experiments suspended pending pacification.
Recording to logbook.
Soul chemical. Soul doesn't exist. It's not specifically chemicals. I think it's chemical energy. Like, the energy your body produces after burning sugar or fat. Without the energy to then burn more fuel, your body essentially shuts down. As if you suffocated, but without suffocating. Because I believe oxygen is required in order to make energy. Studies of metrobiology continue, though with limited progress. It seems likely that we will be much more successful if using the Metroids for our means rather than trying to reproduce their powers. If they could be adequately tamed, we would have no need of a proper understanding of their metabolism. A small force of disciplined Metroids could wipe out entire armies, and once we find a way to shield them from cold containment weapons, they will be invincible. But don't worry, they do that on their own. Just let them grow up. Furthermore, if we could then harvest the energy they'd consumed, we would have a near limitless source of power at our disposal. That is foreshadowing for Prime 2 Echoes. kind of. Not like the plot or anything, just what the space pirates are up to in that game. Whoop. These guys are not a missable scan, but they do disappear from this room later. Ice beetle, burrowing insect with an ice-reinforced carapace, adverse to heat. No shit. This member of the beetle family is adapted to life in the sub-zero temperatures in the Phendrana drifts, growing a thick ice shell over its entire body. The ice is extremely resilient, providing the ice beetle with extra protection and augmented digging ability. And a service, you asshole. I'm gonna want a missile refill soon. Testing and thermal imaging software complete. Commence download to Tactical Visor prototype for field testing. Central tank control circuit connection terminated. Wow. A visor conveniently shaped for Samus's suit? Space pirates no... Space pirates are too nice. If you're having trouble finding these, the wires are all over the room. Which one's firing at me? You are. I feel like there's one more. But anyway, these wires go around the room and show you where the things are. Thermal imaging software exceeding initial expectations. Combat applications are being evaluated by command. Field testing in the Phendrana region approved. Use of prototype visors by security personnel approved. You guys don't use visors. You don't even protect your face. Central tank. All right. Thermal visor interfaces will be sent to quarantine area. These visors will be useful for any personnel involvement in the transport of the unstable test subject there. Inform command that thermal vision tests will begin soon. Abnormal heat traces stand out against their surroundings when looking through the thermal imaging spectrum. And there's a white door. We can't open that yet. So one thing I kind of don't like about visors in Prime 1 or 2, it doesn't really matter in 3 for reasons, is that you can't see door colors while you've got a visor active. Besides scan visor, of course. Oh my god. Oh my god, I see the blur now. That's gonna be a little bit disorientating. I guess it makes sense for it to be kind of blurry, though. It is thermal imaging. How many missiles does it normally take to take you guys out? 5, so honestly I should just use super missiles against you. Got it. Oh god, it's YouTube on 144p vision! I'm slowly losing missiles, but we have a lot of opportunity to fight not Metroids on the way out, and I could just use my beams to fight those. Alright. So, thermal vision has a mechanic with wave beam where it can electrify terminals like this.
Recording to logbook.
Sentry drone, well-armed and armored security mecha. Security drones have limited intelligence, but do their assigned tasks well. Being machines that are susceptible to electrical attacks, they're also very annoying. When alerted, security drones initiate a lockdown, which is why they're very annoying, and then attempt to neutralize the intruder. Their electronic warfare suite can unscramble visor technology as well. Oh my god. I can't see shit. Are there any boxes in this room? Yeah. I mean, of course it is. It's just how you're meant to deal with them. So much for cloaking technology. I mean, they had to give you this to deal with them sooner or later. Otherwise, they'd be as annoying as a certain other enemy that appears later. Except even worse. I think another turret? No missile drops! I mean, I'm alright going to the next fight without missiles, but I'd prefer to have them. I mean, they also don't really use their cloaking tech in their first encounter, though. Because, like, they don't use their cloaking tech until you can counter it. Because they are actually very annoying to fight without it. Like, excruciatingly annoying. Not hard, necessarily, just very, very annoying. Well, you can even see them even when they're cloaked. You just can't lock onto them. Which, again, not fun. Kind of annoying. Alright, let's get our healing on.